album review. Cue the intro. What's going on, gamers? Welcome to Album Review. It's your host, Jamie Redknapp, and welcome to Album Review. Not my new show, because I've posted before, but my first proper show. I think Wednesdays are now going to be album reviews. So for you guys, it's going to be pretty tasty. What's going to be open today's video? That's not a word. We're going to be doing Vampire Weekend's first album, Vampire Weekend. I know, creative juices are proper flowing today. So, Editor Stanley, can you edit in the album cover? Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Love you. As you can tell, it's quite a diverse album. It's very layered. It's layered. 1 minute you're listening to a guitar solo. Next minute you're listening to the Albert Hall at 7 o'clock and prom night. 1 minute you're listening to a drum solo, the next minute you're listening to a kazoo. What? That's not a word, I need to redo that again. Edit this bit out. 1 minute you're listening to an orchestra solo. 1 minute you're listening to a guitar. 1 minute you're listening to a guitar solo, next minute you're listening to an orchestra solo. 1 minute you listen to a drum solo, and the next minute you're in the middle of Africa. I know, it's crazy. It's layered. It's like sponge on jam, on icing, on sponge, on I'm really hungry. I'm sorry, I haven't eaten in 17 days. So what makes this out? So what makes this album absolutely brilliant? Well, I think it's his vocals. I forgot his name. His name is right here. His vocals are absolutely brilliant. They're subtle enough to sort of be in a band and enough to make you relax. I think my only one criticism of the entire album is the fact that he doesn't sound sort of cheery enough, and you know he doesn't want it enough. He's not enthusiastic enough, but I think that doesn't matter when you're that good at vocals. It kind of fits in with the band theme, and it's really, really good. It's got really, really good vocals. Album review. Album review. Album review. Album review. So, next up we have the cover work. In my opinion, it's a bit bad, not gonna lie. That's all I have to say about that. Whoa. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Oh, it's time for album review time. I'm alright, fellas. Subscribe. The next thing I guess you could say that's really, really good is their diversity. They use different things from different places. Editor Stanley, please can you put in some nice classical music as we go through some of the reasons why they're very classy.
Okay, Ethan wants some classical music. I'll give him some classical music. Here we go. There, this is what I'm talking about. Alright, we're using this.
If you look at what they wear, there'll be an image on the screen of what they wear. Thank you very much, Editor Stanley. They wear very posh clothing, which sort of fits in with their style quite a bit. They don't try and pretend to be all, rash and, oh, look at us, we're really cool. No, they are posh. They're very posh. They come from Oxford. They're doing this because they like to act posh. Even when they're on stage and stuff, they just wear very posh clothing. There's a song called Oxford, which is a really, really good song, and it's just a joke saying, oh, no one who's an Oxford comma, don't know what it means, but I'm sure it's funny some places in the world. There's just, of course, A-Punk is probably their most popular song, and I think it's probably the best one off the album. It's really, really good. There's the verse, which sounds all rocky, and then there's some sort of orchestra feel, and then there's a lot of like African drums and stuff. I know, Africa, my favourite place. And I guess you could say they have a lot of particularly tasty moments in the album, including his vocals, the lead singer's vocals, a lot of orchestra fills, which I've said before, those are probably the highlights of the entire thing. As an album, I'm going to give it a rating now. The rating I'm going to give it is 7 out of 10. It's a good album, it's solid. Is it worth everything? Is it worth the amount of hype it's getting? Probably not. Do they deserve to make more music after this album? Yeah, I guess. It's alright. It's 7 out of 10, very average rating. Thank you very much, guys. Subscribe, play the outro.
You've just watched album review.